Start with briefly going through the disclaimers. The first one is an ODS disclaimer. So that is all about basically saying that the views and opinions shown or expressed in this presentation are entirely of ODS and in no way represent SAP. Please note that we can't assume any responsibility for any decisions made based on that. So pretty standard disclaimer. And this is followed by a standard SAP disclaimer, which you may have seen many times as you sort of attend these roadmap webinars and see the roadmaps from SAP. So please use this information with caution, as things may change or may change by SAP at any time. With that, let's get started with the interesting stuff. So briefly about us. So On-Device Solutions is an SAP partner in UK and Ireland, and we are a very niche IT consultancy organization with focus on enterprise mobility. We got a lot of experience rolling out mobile asset management and field services solution, all the way from SAP Mobile Asset Management, which was built on SAP MI as part of NetWeaver, then going on to SAP Work Manager, and then also bespoke build. In terms of our enterprise mobility services, we cover the entire spectrum. So we start from the enterprise mobility strategy. That's where we think about what an organization should do, keeping in mind their context, but at the same time the technology drivers which are outside the organization boundaries. So we have developed a proven methodology which we have used to deliver this service to various organizations. Then we can also deliver packaged applications like SAP Work Manager, SAP Service Manager, and others. And these are like pre-built applications from SAP, which we can deploy using a rapid deployment solution. We can also help with custom build of mobile application where the out-of-the-box standard applications are not a good fit. We can also build mobile applications. We also cover new SAP UX methodology, which is SAP Fiori and Personas. And we also provide mobile device management support and services. So basically SAP Mobile Secure, which is a cloud service to manage and secure the devices so that applications can be deployed. So with that, I move on to the next slide, which is basically setting a bit of a context around the value proposition of a mobile solution. And when we sort of say mobile solution, we are basically talking about two. One is SAP Work Manager and second is CRM Service Manager. And we can look at the use cases on the top left. So it could be your field technicians maintaining your assets in the field. It could be a surveyor doing the asset survey or any other type of survey, factory maintenance round, or a field technicians. So there is a common requirement across these use cases, and that is to provide relevant information at the fingertips when the technician is in the field. We want the applications to have full integration with the backend, because whatever is happening in the field is only part of the picture. You want to make sure the backend processes like HR, like finance, controlling, your asset management are all integrated. Then they want to capture the information not on a piece of paper, but on directly a mobile device, so that the best quality data can be captured closer to the point of action and not forgotten in the transit. And all this we want with real-time data transfer with the backend system, so that the backend teams can make real-time decisions based on the information captured in the field, and in that process improve the operations. So what all this leads to? So from SAP research, customers have seen whatever is shown on the screen as a potential benefits companies can acquire. So you can see some of these are quite drastic changes you can expect in your operations if you mobilize your field operations. So that is in a high level the value proposition why companies need this. So in summary, it can boost the productivity, workplace safety, and reliability. Now I will go through this slide just to paint a very high level picture and then try to understand where a mobile solution fits in. So this is all starts with the core. So that is SAP ERP, we all know and are aware of. So this is where most of the SAP customers either are currently or they start their journey at. So this is the core ERP where you have like your core modules like HR, finance, plant maintenance, production planning, material management, customer services. So all those modules are in here. And in the context of asset management, we are talking about plant maintenance module, which is the core used as part of ERP. So traditionally, as companies manage their assets using ERP, they would create and upload those assets in their core ERP system. Then they would create maintenance plans around it. And traditionally, maintenance plans tend to be more static. So based on like a calendar 6 months maintenance, those work orders are generated and maybe even sent through a piece of paper. So somebody prints those works orders, takes them to the field, notes on all the material used and updates, and comes back and punches in the data in the backend system. So that's where things started, but things have moved on drastically as technology has advanced, and I will walk you through some of the innovations happening both within SAP and externally to make this process even more efficient. So I will start with IoT. So IoT is a big buzzword these days. So in real sort of business sense, it can add value in your asset management processes. So you can imagine there is like your movable assets in the field. It could be on the shop floor, your assets or manufacturing machines. So all of those can be connected with sensors, and sensors can send data back to the ERP system. So for example, if there is a failure in one of the devices, you don't have to wait for somebody to raise that notification in the system and say something has failed. IoT can actually enable that automatically. So you can capture that feed, put it into ERP system, and then raise a work order straight away out of that. So that's IoT. Then comes the predictive maintenance, which is a real-time predictive maintenance engine from SAP, which includes both the platform as well as the algorithms to predict when the next equipment failure could be. Now, this is where the equipment hasn't actually failed just yet, but there is a pattern which we know from history can lead to a failure. So you can use the real-time streaming information coming in and you put it into PDMS, which can feed your ERP, and that way you can do more like predictive maintenance rather than more like a time or calendar based maintenance. Now, once the work order is created in your ERP system, you can optionally use work and clearance management system, where you can sort of manage your environment, health and safety risks, make sure all the checkpoints are taken care of before you actually send somebody to do the job. So once all the clearances are achieved, you can actually schedule the work using either SAP's own product called MRS or third-party product called Click Software. So they can look at the resources, their location, their skill set, and assign the job or work order to the right technicians to get the best outcome. And then at this stage, the work is sent to the mobile device. And this is our sort of focus area for today. So field technicians will carry mobile devices. They will receive the work orders right where they are. They can review the work order, they can carry out updates on the work order, capture all the information like the material used and other things. So this is where we are taking paper out of the picture and then making it all mobile enabled. So you can imagine the efficiencies. Now the two other things which run across, one is a new SAP innovation called SAP Asset Intelligence Network on the top. So that is in a way a marketplace where asset manufacturers collaborate with asset consumers. So you can imagine like right now you have to manage all the assets and related material in your core ERP system. What if the vendor manages all of that information in this central cloud instance, and then you don't have to worry about being up to date on the latest policies and procedures and how to use those machines. So all of that is now enabled using SAP AIN system where collaboration happens. And you can see this icon, 3D visualization enterprise. This is like a 3D model of a machine which you can use to train technicians and then obviously help them repair. So that's briefly about the bigger picture. Now I will go on to the journey so far. So what really happened in this mobile asset management in terms of mobile applications. Now, if some of you heard about Cyclo was an independent company which actually the founding members of On-Device Solutions come from, so we all worked for Cyclo. So that was an independent company, an SAP partner, and they specialized in mobile applications for field service, for asset maintenance and sales. And Cyclo were acquired by SAP in 2012. And before that, SAP had products based on SAP Mobile Infrastructure, which was part of NetWeaver, and they were called SAP MAM and MAU. So with acquisition of Cyclo, SAP Work Manager became the roadmap solution for MAM and MAU. In 2013, because SAP had acquired Sybase before that, so they merged all the offerings into one product called SAP Mobile Platform 2.3. So that's where the agentry platform, as it is called for Cyclo, was merged into wider SAP Mobile Platform. And since then, we have seen continuous innovation on Work Manager and Service Manager from SAP. So for example, 6.1 and 2 were released in 2014, then 6.3 and 6.4. And some of the key innovations which SAP announced, one was the use of OpenUI. So OpenUI is a way to include third-party user interface into standard agentry screens of Work Manager, and also the disintegration with Esri as well as the Visual Enterprise integration, which is a 3D modeling tool. And there is a nice video on YouTube if you want to watch how Visual Enterprise works. Now, in 2016, there were some very big announcements made around Work Manager. So one of the key one is S/4HANA compatibility. So now SAP Work Manager works not only with SAP ERP or ECC, it also supports S/4HANA as of 2016. And that really helps customers plan their roadmap as customers evolve and adopt S/4HANA enterprise system, and that helps them sort of plan the roadmap. So this is the journey so far. And very recently, there have been significant announcements made by SAP. And this is the roadmap at a glance. So this is what the future looks like. So we saw what the past was. At the top, we have SAP Work Manager future roadmap. So SAP for the very first time has committed a very sort of a medium to long-term strategy on asset management, and that is helping customers and partners then really implement these solutions. So for the first time, SAP have committed to maintain Work Manager actively till 2020, and then obviously extended maintenance till 2022. So that gives a horizon of 6 years for customers and partners to plan their projects and initiatives. And that is really something which was long awaited from SAP. So SAP Work Manager is already available on HANA Cloud Platform as of 6.4 release. So that means now the agentry engine is available if you want to use a HANA Cloud Platform to run your mobile platform. And it was previously available on HANA Enterprise Cloud, which is more of like a per customer-based cloud in simple terms, and HANA Cloud Platform is more of a multi-tenancy sort of an environment. So yeah, so with that, SAP Work Manager is now available on HANA Cloud Platform. Now SAP will continuously make enhancements to Work Manager, with 6.5 release expected sometime in 2017, and then subsequent releases till 2020. Now, as of now, in 2022, the plan is to complete the end of maintenance for agentry platform and associated applications. So that's the current plan. Obviously, it can change in future, but the current plan is the agentry application like Work Manager and Service Now will have end of life in 2022. In addition, you might have seen the announcement from SAP and Apple that they have announced this partnership which brings best of consumer world technology with best of enterprise. So in 2016, they announced the partnership. Now the plans are to use that partnership within SAP and come up with mobile applications around that partnership. And one of the first ones which will be rolled out on the back of this partnership is a solution called SAP Asset Manager. Now that's a new announcement from SAP. So SAP Asset Manager will be a mobile asset management solution from SAP, but it will only support S/4HANA. So that's the key thing to note. So it is designed to use and leverage S/4HANA and sort of all the inbuilt reporting and other powers it comes with. So it will support S/4HANA only. Because this is based on SAP Apple partnership, initial release of SAP Asset Manager in 2017 will be focused on iOS platform only, but that happens to be the most widely used platform in enterprises for tablets and smartphones, and it will be completely available on HANA Cloud Platform as a software as a service offering. So you can just ramp up and ramp down as your requirements grow and shrink. So that is going to be released in 2017 as of the current plan, and that will be the minimum viable product from SAP. It won't have all the bells and whistle features we have in SAP Work Manager, but it will be a minimum viable product. Then in 2020 till 2020, SAP will continue to enhance SAP Asset Manager, adding new functionality, plus also potentially adding support for Android and Windows operating system. So that is the SAP roadmap. And then obviously you will have continuous enhancements being made to the product as life goes on. Now, one interesting thing to note about this is this SAP Asset Manager is based on a new SDK SAP are developing with Apple. It's called Fury for iOS. So if you're interested, there is a very interesting open.sap.com tutorial going on this week. And it is going to go on for 3 weeks, which is walking everyone through for free of cost training, basically, how this SDK would look like, and got some very interesting information in there. So with that, I will just cover some of the recent releases of SAP Work Manager and some of the key features SAP have added as part of that. So in 6.3 release, SAP have now enabled the update of equipment functional location data, which was a demand from customers, because as technicians went out to carry out asset maintenance, they figured out sometimes the information in the backend system is not up to date. So this was an opportunity to update the information right in the field, and this enables that. Now you can geotag work orders and other objects. So that means you can really confirm the technician was there when he was doing the task. You can create notification directly from an equipment and functional location screen rather than sort of going through the notification screen. You can see the measurement reading history. You can see the work order history related to equipment and functional location, and few other things like business partner contact details. There is a nice video link on YouTube. Once I share the presentation with you all, you can have a look, and that will walk you through with some of those features from SAP. Now, SAP Work Manager 6.4 was very recently announced. I think it was in September. So with that, what SAP has enabled is cloud option to deploy SAP Work Manager. So previously you could only deploy the OData-based mobile applications on HANA Cloud Platform, but now you can even deploy agent-tree-based applications. But this is still in ramp up. So if you're interested in using this feature, please get in touch with SAP or us, and then we can put you in contact with the right people how to leverage this feature. Now the Open UI control now supports UI5 as well, so that's a new feature they have added. So that means you can extend your applications in a device agnostic fashion, which wasn't possible before. Another very important feature SAP has introduced is called inbound transaction queue. So for some of those who understand mobile applications which work offline, now the current model is first in, first out, and if there is an error in a transaction, all the back in the queue transactions have to wait for that to be cleared up, just to obviously maintain the integrity of data in your backend system. Now with inbound queue management, you can actually have a logic with sitting in your backend system with which you can put those entries in a queue so that you're not blocking the whole thing. So that's a new feature SAP has introduced recently. They have also introduced sharing device between multiple users, which could be possibility in certain environments. And now you can also manage van stock using SAP Work Managers, because typically technicians maintain a vehicle stock which they need to allocate to a job. So with this, they can do the goods movement, and all this is tightly integrated with your SAP MM module and warehouse management module. So these are some of the new features, and there is a blog link later on which you can go through to read more about that. So with that, I will go into more details of the roadmap. So what we have today, what are the planned innovations, and where is the future for Work Manager. And again, all this is coming from SAP official roadmap, so it comes with the usual caveat as I covered before. So SAP Work Manager in the current environment is a very functional, rich and flexible application. So you can manage work orders, notification, and even timesheets in the current version. It also supports linear asset management. So for companies who manage linear assets like water, pipes, or transmission lines and others like roads, so they can use linear asset management, and SAP Work Manager supports that on the front end, mobile application as well. SAP Work Manager got a limited inspection round facility as well. So earlier we had a separate application called rounds, but now some of that functionality is included in the SAP Work Manager. So people can maybe go around the factory and take measurement point readings using the Work Manager rather than using a separate application. It also supports attachment and single sign-on and multiple languages. It comes with out-of-the-box integration with Esri ArcGIS. So from people from utilities background, they obviously realize the value of a GIS system and overlaying of assets on a GIS system. And this is where the two key technologies work very well together. So we have done a lot of integration, integrating GIS systems with work management. They've got their own strengths. So SAP Work Manager realizes that, and they provide out-of-the-box integration. We touched upon SAP Visual Enterprise. So that's basically the 3D modeling. So you obviously need to create those models, and then they're available for use. Now, SAP ERP Customer Services component, that's an interesting one. So we have talked quite a lot about asset management, but the same thing can be quite easily extended to customer service as well. So within SAP, there is a module called Customer Services, which basically leverages quite a few common database tables with SAP plant maintenance. So the key difference is with customer service, you get some extra features like focus on customer as an object as part of the service order. Also, it includes things like billing from SAP Sales and Distribution Engine. It includes things like warranty management as well. So you can see the same SAP Work Manager solution can be extended to support SAP Customer Service module as well. It's just that the work order is, that context is called a service order. It also supports crew management. So you can have like time entry on behalf of others, so you can manage crews in that aspect. You can manage vehicle stock as we covered earlier. There is a meter management add-on as well, using which IS utility customers can really leverage the meter management out of the box. And obviously the things we covered, HAC, HCP, and S4HANA support. Going forward, SAP are going to continue to enhance the Work Manager. They will include rounds management, more features in there. Vehicle stock management will continue to be enhanced in the new releases. And as you can imagine, it is multi-platform technology, so the newest versions keep coming out from Android or iOS. So they will continue to support those new OS versions, and obviously support for Windows 10 Pro. I think they already support Windows 10, it's just a Windows 10 Pro, which will be enhanced. So in future it will cover more integration with IoT, although IoT is primarily going to be a back-end integration and more of predictive maintenance as we looked at the bigger picture to start with, which will include work and asset reports. They have been looking at dynamic forms for a while, and other things like EHS integration, quality management, and industry-specific processes and work and clearance management. So that's like the long-term plan for SAP Work Manager. Now we talk about SAP Asset Manager. So this is a native application built for iOS devices. Now, question can be asked, like, why do we need a native application? And there are various reasons for that. One is the expectation of users having sort of used high rich quality UX applications in their personal lives. So they really expect that high quality user interface and performance from the mobile devices. Although we can try using hybrid technologies, but there is a gap between using native applications to give that best possible UX experience as well as performance. On top of that, iOS is the most widely used device platform in enterprises for smartphones and tablets. And some of the key features you can only access using a native application. So for example, you can access Touch ID, which is a native Apple features. You can use multi-touch, you can use gyroscope integration, you can use integration with Apple Pay, and you can use integration with Apple Maps. So all those integrations which are native features of iOS are just simply either very difficult to do with a hybrid application or not possible at all. And obviously we have to keep in mind SAP's partnership announcements. So on back of all of that, SAP are going for SAP Asset Manager, which is the next generation asset management application for S/4HANA backend system. So as you know, Asset Manager is not currently available. So it will be available in 2017. The timelines are hopefully the Q3 or Q4 of 2017. Initial release will be the foundation elements or minimum viable product as we covered. So it will have offline features, work order notification and timesheet features, attachments, and as-read gist. Now, as time evolves, SAP will provide both functional and technological enhancements to the solution. Pretty much things like we are used to, like push notifications, MRS integration, linear asset management integration, non-iOS support. So all those things are in a future roadmap. So that's the current state of affairs. Now, we have sort of focused quite heavily on asset management and customer service module within ERP. Now, for those who know, there is another product called SAP CRM Service Manager. Now, if we go back to the bigger picture diagram, so this is where there are specialized needs from customer, where the features provided by customer services module within ECC are not enough. So they have a proper full-fledged SAP CRM system, and within that the service management module focuses on this. So SAP has a product called CRM Service Manager, which is pretty similar to Work Manager in quite a few terms, but it sort of integrates with SAP CRM rather than SAP ERP. So it obviously got better integration in terms of customer warranty management, customer object in its own right, customer billing and quotation management. So this product was also acquired in 2012 by SAP as part of the Cyclo acquisition. So that is still very much available. So if you look at the roadmap today, it provides most of the features which are required for service management with SAP CRM. So you can have service order management, warranty and contract management, resource planning. You can do surveys as well. It is integrated with maps and directions. And inbound transaction management, as I mentioned earlier, you can now sort of manage the queues in the backend system in case of error handling. We can also do attachments and single sign-on as well as reintegration. So pretty much the same features you would expect in Work Manager as well. And on an ongoing basis, SAP plan to continuously enhance and enrich this application, and in future obviously have Windows 10 support and predictive service maintenance as well. With that, we are almost coming close to the end of the session. So in here, I'm just covering some of the possible next steps, and Q&A we will open. So we'll go through the questions we have captured first in the chat window, and then we can even enable the lines for audio, and we will see if we can do Q&A using audio. So in terms of the possible next steps, obviously this was just a glimpse into the roadmap and how SAP is evolving their asset maintenance and field service roadmap and solution set. We believe at On Device that enterprise mobility is a big game changer and is potentially giving a lot of operational efficiency benefits to the companies. For example, you can now get access to information to people who never had access to SAP system before, or at a time and place they never had access to the information. So you can imagine the efficiency. So we can help and work in a workshop manner with you if you're interested to identify the opportunities enabled by enterprise mobility. So we offer a free workshop for that. So if you need that, please get in touch with us. We can also arrange demo and POC for the products that we discussed today, like Work Manager and Service Manager, and even Inventory Manager we can cover as well, which is more of a material management and warehouse management component of SAP. Now, with the help of SAP, we can also help you go from that one central spot in your ERP landscape to the wider other possible SAP solutions to enhance and make operations more efficient and productive. So if you think there are opportunities in this slide which you can leverage and enhance your current footprint, then please get in touch with us or SAP, and we can help you sort of discover those opportunities. And apart from that, you can get in touch for any other questions you may have related to enterprise mobility in general. That's pretty much all from our side, really. Now I will go to the Q&A.